So you've turned your life around and gone healthy. Now you want to vlog about it with your Fujifilm camera. Or maybe you know a thing or two about plants and you want to make videos about that. Perhaps you want to vlog about your cats. Whatever it is that you might want to vlog about, the odds are the 16 to 80 is up to the task. In my opinion, a versatile zoom lens like the 16 to 80 is probably the best option in most cases when it comes to vlogging. 16 millimeters is wide enough that your face is definitely going to be in there as long as you keep your arm fully extended. If you get into a more relaxed state, you're kind of doing this, and this is a little too close for me. But again, arm out, face is there, you've got enough of the environment in your background that it's comfortable. Would a little wider be better? Sure, but again, I think it's doable. This is an f4 zoom lens, which for me, I think for vlogging, it's fine. I just don't think you need 1.4 or blurry backgrounds, that whole thing for a vlog. Again, you're usually, most people when they're doing something when they're doing any sort of vlogging, they're somewhere they want to show off, they want their environment to be in focus. Why you'd want to blur things out in this sort of scenario, I don't understand when people do that. But again, if that's the sort of thing you want to do, then a zoom lens like this one is definitely not going to be what you want. You've also got weather sealing, which is great. Often you're out, starts to rain. It's nice to know that you don't have to worry too much about that sort of thing. Optical image stabilization is also something this lens has, which is great. Should make it a little bit better than, let's say, a prime lens with no sort of image stabilization, or I should say only camera stabilization. I think I'm walking at a pretty casual pace right now. I'm not really being careful, to be honest, at all. My arm is starting to get a little tired. I'm not used to doing this for extended amounts of time. So I'm sure it's going to be a little shaky, a little jittery, but I don't think it's too bad, especially if you keep your takes a little bit shorter, or if you're not used to doing this for a long time before your arm starts to get tired. There is no hard rule that says you have to walk and talk to vlog. You can just do this. Stop where you're at, share what you're looking at or what you're experiencing, and go on. Fill it with B-roll, fill it with other footage. You don't have to constantly be walking and talking. If you want most of your content to be a lot of just talking while you're walking, as you're traveling through a neighborhood or nature or whatever, you might struggle a little bit with Fuji. The IBIS isn't the best I've ever seen. The OIS isn't that great. And if you're like me and you can't hold the camera still for too long, you're gonna be suffering. With some, being very careful and all that, you can definitely get away with it. But like I said, the good thing is this isn't just doing this. This isn't a vlog. Vlogging isn't limited to this. You can use tripods, you can use stabilizers, you can put your camera on the floor or up on a tree, wherever you want. It doesn't have to be walking and talking. When it comes to vlogging, there are a few lenses in the Fujifilm lineup that can beat the versatility of this lens. The 16mm end allows a lot of your environment to be in the frame, and the 80mm end lets you really zoom into most things within a reasonable distance. It's not a linear motor lens, but in video I haven't found it any less capable than any of the linear motor primes that I own when it comes to tracking. In this basic test I did,
It tracked me just as well as my 18 1.4 or 33 1.4, both of which are linear motor lenses. Shooting in the traditional vlog style, it never lost my face. Animal detect also worked well for me. And unless you're covering a dog agility contest or racing horses, I suspect it'll work for you too. Focus transitions. Well, it does a typical Fuji pulsing, like every other Fuji lens that I own, though I suspect that's more of a system flaw than one of the lenses. Don't let f4 scare you away. In my opinion, at 16mm it softens the background perfectly for a vlog, and at the longer end, the subject separation is adequate. In terms of light, f4 is doable unless you live in a cave lit by a single candle. But if you're like most and you have adequate lighting at home, be it a window, a ceiling light, or any other typical source of lighting found in most homes, you'll be fine. I rarely find myself going above ISO 6400, and in my opinion, that's perfectly usable for a vlog. The great thing about this lens is that it's not just a fantastic option for video, it also does a great job with photos too.